Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Crystal with London Girl Beauty. Today's your first day. Welcome. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell if you like the content on this page. If it's not your first time, welcome back. Let's get right into today's video. So I decided to bring part 2 of my weight loss journey, my health and fitness journey. You know, in the last video, if you saw it, I talked about me starting a brand new health journey where I would be, focusing on loving myself more, getting back into working out, eating better. And I've been doing that. I've been consistently working out, getting to do insanities in the morning. Working from home has been a blessing to accommodate my sleep schedule, and after my body's beat up, I don't have to go to the office and interact with people. So that's been a super, fantastic blessing at this point. But I wanted to talk to you guys today about what I ate during my weight loss journey and, like my schedule and everything, and how I managed to, work around that. I got a lot of questions, which I'll answer in probably different videos. I've commented back and I've talked to people via email about my journey, but, if you have questions, don't be afraid to ask down below or send me a private message. I'm more than willing to answer and help. You guys have been great. Thank you so much for the feedback, the support, the encouragement, the congratulations to all the girls and guys that told me that they're on their journey. Congratulations to you. I wish you the best of luck. We can do it. Anything we put our minds to, we can make happen. So, in talking about what I ate and drank during my journey, it's important to know that there were 3 major things. So I made notes for you guys this time. I'm not gonna just be talking off the top of my head. A lot of it is in my head, but it's been well over a year since I went through this journey. So there were 3 top things that I used, to benefit me, to help me stay on track. It was a food tracker. So I used my Fitness Pal. They have a phenomenal food tracker. Most of you already know about it. It's free. There's a premium version, but I didn't need the premium version. So I used my Fitness Pal. I also had a calorie goal. So mine was between 1,200 and 1,400 a day that I needed to hit in order to, not to be starving myself and not to overeat. And then I had an eating schedule. So I think I'll start with like my eating schedule so that you guys can get a better picture of what I was talking about. So for me, I had timed myself on when I should eat different things at different intervals. And I also practiced a little intermittent fasting. All of us, it was the big craze and everything. All of us know about intermittent fasting. It's when you eat within a specified time period during the day. You start at that time every day, and then you end at the same time every day. And, you try to get your sustenance in that time frame. So for me, my solid food intake started at noon, and I couldn't eat anything after 8 p.m. I could if I wanted to, but that's what I wanted to set up for myself, because after that time, I'm not active as much anymore. And before that time, I haven't been active enough at that point anyway. But what I was doing is I was using shakes in the morning or yogurt. So they're technically not, like edible, like solid foods. So I was doing something to that extent where I would like drink shakes to keep me, going, because I go to work for 8:30 in the morning. So by noon, I'd be pretty hungry if I didn't do that. And my big thing was to not eat or not get myself to the point of being super hungry and then to eat, because a lot of times when you're super hungry, you tend to overeat when you go to eat. So my big thing was to ensure that within that time period, that 8-hour time period that I was eating, that I was not allowing myself to get super hungry or even to get super full. So what I did within my schedule was that now I had like 2 hours or hour and a half interval that I would eat in. So from lunchtime at noon, I had my first solid meal, and then around 2 o'clock, I would have a snack. I had snacks like mangoes, bananas, kiwis. I love fruits, so I had a lot of that. I had nuts, I had almond nuts, I had cashews, unsalted, and I love pistachios, so I had those as well. around the other 2-hour block, I would have like either another fruit, you know, or some vegetables. Like I would cut up carrots or something like of that sort that I could eat, or some peppers. I love sweet peppers, like the mini ones. You get them in Costco, delicious. So I would set up those, maybe some hummus and the peppers, hummus and carrots, hummus and celery, you know, something that I could enjoy, but it wasn't super high calories or high in sugars or whatever. And then, but after I'd have my second snack, by that time I'd get home and it would be time to eat dinner. So when I'm eating dinner, I didn't tell you guys what I would have for lunch. So for me, my doctor recommended that I try the Nutrisystem meals. So I also tried their shake. The shake that I would have is their turbo shake, the vanilla and chocolate. I hated the chocolate. I'm not a chocolate drinker. I like vanilla drinks. So I would get the vanilla flavored one for the shakes that I would have early in the morning. And if I get hungry late at night, I'll drink a shake. But I'd have the vanilla shake, and then for lunch I'd have a Nutrisystem meal. All the meals weren't great, but you know, there were a few like the sesame chicken and stuff that, you know, were passable that I could handle. So I'd have like different kinds of prepackaged Nutrisystem meals, which was super important. That's another thing in my schedule. Having set meals was super important and super helpful to keep me from going insane when it was time to eat. Of course, it got at some point it got monotonous, like eating the same things over and over can get super boring super quickly. So that did happen to me at times, and I would try to like switch up the kind of meals. I'd have black bean soup, I'd have this, that, and the third. But what was good about these prepackaged meals is that they had their calorie set. So when I would track my food in the tracker now, it was easy to just scan these prepackaged foods that had their calorie count and all the information on there, so that my tracker could pick up this information easily, as opposed to if I was cooking my own food, which is usually what happened for dinner. It would be super hard to have to weigh everything out and say specifically I had a cup of this, I had a half cup of that. Like that can become tedious. And of course, as you go on in your journey, you know, you'll be able to eyeball things and know exactly how much you're having. It's gonna get easier, but in the beginning it can be super frustrating to, I say super a lot, I need to stop that. It can be very frustrating to have to weigh everything, count all these calories, be specific, and hold yourself accountable. So that is something that you should take into consideration. So again, my top 3 things was a food tracker, a calorie goal, and eating schedule. So I've already talked about, you know, how consistency was important, and having packaged meals, and, you know, having a set schedule, not just in the time that I ate, but in what I ate, helped a lot. So the next thing I'll talk about is like portion control. For me, it was big to portion control myself, because before me starting on my journey, like I was a healthy eater. Like I eat healthy things, you know, that was just me. I like things that are healthy, not necessarily that I went out looking for it, but that's just what my body liked to consume. My problem was that I was eating too much of it. So, you know the saying, like, too much of anything is good for nothing? It's so true. So that was my big issue, that I would eat too much of everything that I had. I would just like, oh, well, it's healthy, so I could eat a whole bag of, I don't know, whatever it is. So portioning myself was very important, and it helped me to, you know, allow myself to look at what I was eating and to realize exactly how much of certain things contain. Like if you have packaged chips, the serving size is usually 2 or 3, but usually you could finish that bag in one sitting. So me consciously looking and saying, whoa, 150 calories is per serving. There's 3 servings and I'm eating 3 of these. Holy crap. I'm eating, what, 450 calories in one sitting? Like, I don't have any more calories to eat for, like, 2 more meals. Especially if you're on a 1,200 to 1,400 calorie diet. Like, when you waste 450 calories on a bag of chips, those are empty calories. In the matter of, like, I don't know, 40 minutes, you'll be hungry again. and then you need to fill that void. So for me, realizing that there were serving sizes on these things, like because I still ate food that wasn't the best food, right? Because I'm on the go, young, professional, whatever. But having those things in smaller quantities versus what I used to have, it was a kicker. It was like the best thing that I could do for myself. So I would recommend that you read the labels and packaging of things that you get, like even crackers and all these things. Like the serving size might be 1 to 2 crackers. We usually eat the whole pack because, you know, we can. Like why would you put 12 crackers in there if I could only have 2 at a time? That don't make sense. But either way, so for me, recognizing serving sizes, and then that played into the portion control aspect of it, because now I was eating less of everything. I would still order lunch. Like on some Fridays, I'd like give myself a break and be like, okay, I'll get some sushi. I'll get, you know, that's when we could go outside. Sad times. Either way, I would get sushi, or I'd even get Chipotle sometimes. But instead of getting like the bowl with everything, I'd get like a vegetable friendly bowl or brown rice and some chicken, you know, skip all the other condiments and just, you know, have a nice meal. But I wasn't eating that entire bowl anymore. Before, I could sit down and eat an entire bowl of Chipotle. Now I was like, that bowl would last me about 5 meals because like I was portioning it off so small and recognizing what I was eating and putting into my body. And then I'd have sushi at some point, and instead of eating, because you know sometimes they cut the entire roll into like 6 pieces or 8 pieces depending on what you get. And sometimes I could only eat 4, or I told myself that I should only eat 4. So eventually I got to the point where I couldn't handle anything past 4, like 4 pieces of sushi. So imagine that, right? So portioning yourself and having portion controls and thinking about serving sizes is powerful. It once you can fix your mind to do that, your body falls in line. It does, trust me. The next thing that I focused on was having a low sugar diet. So this way, I love fruits, so I didn't cut fruits out of my diet. But anything like, I never drank soda, but I love ice cream, so I cut the intake of ice cream out. I love alcohol, as in like I love wine. My husband and I are, you know, wine connoisseurs. I'm kidding, we're not that. But we love wine to the extent that we collect wine and we'll go places just to try wine. So for me, I had to think of like, okay, these are a lot of empty calories. A lot of these wines that I like were sweet and sugary. So for me, cutting out most of the sugar that were not natural in the food was important and helpful. The next thing that I did, let's see, I drank water. I don't drink soda. Maybe I'll have soda as a chaser with my drinks, my mixed drinks or something. But as a general rule of thumb, I don't drink soda. I might have ginger ale, as we all black people have it whenever something's going wrong. We know ginger ale cures all. And as a woman, they lie. That stuff helps during that time of the month. But I digress. So I didn't drink soda, period, anyway. So for me, that wasn't something to cut out. But I drank water because I was an athlete all my life. So I'm used to the water intake and needing water for my body to function. So, but I just increased that. And I would literally track how much water I was having. There's on the MyFitnessPal app, they allow you to do that, which is why I love the app so much. It allows you to track everything you put into your body. As a Caribbean girl, like when I go to New York, because currently I live in Maryland, so when I would go to New York to visit my family, like we would go get like bacon saltfish, we'd get some, you know, Guyana Chinese food or whatever. And the good thing about the app is that it actually had these foods on there, which is like a roti. Like you looking for a roti and they tell you how much calories in it, and I'm like, oh shit, a whole roti, a puri got how much calories? My God. So for me, that was important to know, and it helped me to, you know, I'm back to the app. I forgot I was telling you guys about water, but yeah, the app was good at tracking my water. Don't mind. It was good at tracking my water intake, so I appreciated that. And finally, I I already knew before starting my journey that I had a certain level of lactose intolerance, so I didn't drink milk like that. I'd have milk occasionally, and it would be like lactate milk or something like that that didn't have, you know, the stuff that causes us to have the bowel movements. But I love cheese, and I found out that all dairy causes this to happen to me, so I had already restricted myself on cheese, but I love it, so I was still having it. But when I started this journey, like, if I used to have cheese 3 times a month, now it was down to 1 time a month. Cutting the dairy out was a good way, because that dairy was also ice cream, and I love me some Talenti and stuff like that. I love rum and raisin ice cream, so cutting that out helped a lot. Finally, my big thing was that I was now enjoying my food, taking my time to eat my food, chewing my food, chewing slower. If I had an hour for lunch, instead of like wrapping up my lunch, and because I could plow through my lunch in like 15 minutes or less, depending on what it was. Now I was taking my time and enjoying my food and taking about 40 minutes to eat my lunch instead of 15 minutes, which allowed me to taste my food, to enjoy it better, and to also know when I was getting to the point of being full. That is a killer. Like, if you eat past the point of satisfaction, it's already too late. You're already overstretching your stomach. I'm not a doctor or anything like that. I don't know nothing about that, but you could feel it in yourself. When you eat to that point, you're stretching out your stomach. Now you require more food to fill the void that you've created. So my thing that I practice is that if I feel full when I'm done eating, I've had too much. I shouldn't feel full. I should feel satisfied. So that's the feeling I go for. I go for satisfied. So now by chewing my food and taking my time to eat it, I know when I am satisfied. My brain and my stomach are communicating. I'm no longer just shoveling stuff in my face and then I'm like, oh, I can't move. That wasn't it anymore. That didn't work for me anymore. So changing and implementing the new form of eating and enjoying my food and taking my time, best thing I could do for myself, because now I'm eating less food. I enjoy what I put in my body. I understand what I'm putting into my body. I have a schedule for when I'm doing it, and I see the results. So let me see if there's anything else that I missed that I should be telling you guys about. No, it looks like I covered it. I covered everything all together, except I didn't tell you guys about me reducing my flour and potato intake. I did that. Like, don't get me wrong, I still had these things, but now I didn't have it in the quantity that I used to have it. I was no longer eating a serving size of 4 in one sitting. And that's the biggest thing. You can eat whatever you want and lose weight. Trust me, you can do it. But the thing is, how much of whatever it is that you're eating. You can't overeat and lose weight. But if you eat what your body needs and requires and is enough to make you feel satisfied or joyful, like going for a piece of candy bar, like I could eat an entire bar of cardboard chocolate, okay? But now that I know that 3 pieces is a serving size, or 4 pieces, I respect it. I'm like, okay, I already know what I get, the taste of what I was looking for. I enjoyed what I had. I took my time and I ate my 4 pieces, and it was lovely, delicious. I don't need the other 6 or 8 pieces that is in the packet. I just would have enjoyed it, but I don't need it, because I know what chocolate tastes like. We all know what the things that we love taste like. So there's no need for us to overindulge in it. We just need to enjoy our food and have a better relationship with what we eat. And that's what I did. That's what I ate. I still ate the things I enjoyed. I just ate less of it, and it worked for me. Portion, portion, portion. Schedule, schedule, schedule. Drink your water. And mind your business. No, I'm kidding. No, but really, like, drink your water. Have a budget for your goal, for your calorie goal. So know where you want to go, between what range, and try to stick with it. There were days that I had less calories than I needed, and what I would do at the end of the day, if 8 o'clock rolled around and I didn't meet my 1200 to 1400 calorie intake, I would take the Nutrisystem shake and drink it, because in all honesty, I might not have been hungry. A lot of the times I wasn't hungry, but I knew that my body, because I was working out and all these things, my body needed sustenance and fuel, so I needed to put something into my body and hold myself accountable. Because if I went down that road where I was only eating 800 calories, 1,000 calories, and I wasn't meeting my caloric goals, and I was at such a large deficit because I would go work out and probably burn, let's say, even if I only burned 500 calories, now I only took 1,000 in, so now you subtract that 500, I only had a 500 calorie day. That's starvation mode. My body's gonna eventually shut down and be like, okay, we can't lose any more weight. So please be mindful of that when you're eating and you're portion controlling. Make sure you portion control to your calorie that is required and based on the work that you're doing. If you have a day that you don't work out, you probably don't need to eat the 1400 calorie. You could eat the 1200, but the days that you work out, try to hit the 1400 calorie. I didn't always do it and it wasn't great, but I am learning still, and as I go on this new health journey, I hope to be better. And by recording these videos and sharing with you guys and hearing your tips and tricks is going to be instrumental in where and how I end up. So thank you guys for watching again. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was so much fun sharing with you. I enjoy your interactions, and thank you guys so much. Let me know what you think. But for now, bye.